His name was Frank Olson, a senior biochemist for the U.S. Army and a specialist in biological weapons. On a cold November night in 1953, at the Statler Hotel in New York, Olson's body plunged from a 13th floor window onto the pavement below. The police dismissed it as a suicide caused by work pressure, but his family never believed it. 22 years later, declassified documents revealed a staggering truth. Olson had been the victim of a simple cocktail, one spiked with a heavy dose of LSD without his knowledge. He was the first burned pawn of a project that the CIA spent over $2 billion in today's value to achieve an impossible goal: conquering the soul and hacking the human brain. Welcome to the dark world of MK Ultra, a place where the line between humanity and torture vanished, and ordinary citizens were turned into test subjects in the secret laboratories of the Cold War. In 1950, the Cold War was far more than just a military standoff. It was a total psychological war. When American soldiers returned from the Korean War, some appeared before cameras to denounce U.S. policies, swearing their loyalty to communism. The CIA was paralyzed with fear. They became convinced that the Soviet Union and China had unlocked a secret technology for brainwashing, a weapon to rewrite the human mind. Allen Dulles, the director of the CIA at the time, believed the United States was falling behind in the mental arms race. On April 13, 1953, he gave the green light to a project that would go far beyond standard interrogation. The goal wasn't just to force someone to talk. The goal was to turn a human being into a robot. A programmable asset who could commit assassinations, leak intelligence, and then have no memory of what had happened. Leadership of this project was handed to a man named Sidney Gottlieb, a man known as the Black Sorcerer, or the CIA's alchemist. Having struggled with a stutter since childhood, Gottlieb was an eccentric scientist who raised goats at home and practiced yoga. Yet at the office, he was searching for ways to systematically destroy the human personality.
Her pupils are dilated and she exhibits extreme perspiration.
He believed that to build a new mind, you first had to completely shatter the old one. Gottlieb divided MK Ultra into 149 sub-projects, executed across 80 institutions, including psychiatric hospitals, prestigious universities like Harvard and Stanford, and even prisons.
I'm cold.
Funding was funneled with absolute secrecy under fictitious titles, ensuring that even government auditors wouldn't realize the money was being spent on illicit substances or renting safe houses. LSD, a weapon for the collapse of reality. At the time, LSD was a new and mysterious substance, a drug shrouded in the unknown. The CIA purchased thousands of doses from the Swiss pharmaceutical company Sandoz. They began testing it on everyone, from their own CIA agents to fashion models and the homeless on the streets. Operation Midnight Climax. This stands as one of the most corrupt chapters in CIA history. They rented safe houses in San Francisco and New York, hiring prostitutes to lure unsuspecting men from the streets. Once there, without the victim's knowledge, their drinks were spiked with LSD. CIA agents would sit behind two-way mirrors, sipping martinis and watching as a human being lost their grip on reality, spiraling into a total psychological breakdown. Their goal? To see if sex and drugs could be weaponized to extract confessions or exert total control over an individual. In Canada, Dr. Ewan Cameron conducted some of the most horrific experiments at the Allen Memorial Institute. He would keep depressed patients or those seeking help for minor emotional issues in a state of artificial sleep for weeks at a time. During this period, he subjected them to electric shocks 30 to 40 times the legal limit. Simultaneously, he would play audio tapes on a loop, blasting phrases like, "You are a bad person," or "You must change," into their ears thousands of times. The result? Their minds were completely wiped clean. Some forgot their own names or the faces of their children, never to return to a normal life again. Did MKUltra ever succeed in creating a Manchurian candidate, a programmable assassin? Some believe that Sirhan Sirhan, the assassin of Robert Kennedy, was under the influence of these techniques. Even years later, he claimed to have no memory of why or how he pulled the trigger.
50 Phantom jets to Israel to deliver nothing but death and destruction on my countrymen. That seemed, as a story, were a betrayals, and it was sad for me to accept.
Then there is Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. Long before he became a domestic terrorist, he was a math prodigy at Harvard and a subject in a brutal psychological experiment conducted by the CIA under Dr. Henry Murray. Many experts argue that those traumatic experiments pushed his brilliant mind over the edge, fueling the madness and deep-seated hatred for the system that would later define his life.
There will be no picture. But as president, I must put the interests of America first.
In 1973, as the stench of the Watergate scandal began to rise, Richard Helms, the director of the CIA, ordered the total destruction of all MKUltra documents.
Frequently, and are trained right up to the minute in how to do it.
He wanted to erase history itself. Millions of pages of evidence went up in flames. But a massive miscalculation occurred. Some financial records had been misfiled in a separate archive and survived the purge. In 1974, the New York Times published a bombshell expose, forcing the U.S. Congress to form the Church Committee. What was revealed sent shivers through the American public. A government that claimed to defend democracy had been using the tactics of the Gestapo and the KGB against its own citizens. The exposure of MKUltra triggered extensive investigations in the United States Congress, eventually leading to new laws regarding the necessity of informed consent in human experimentation. Despite this, almost none of the project's chief architects, including figures like Sidney Gottlieb and Ewan Cameron, ever face criminal prosecution or jail time. But perhaps more significant than the past is the shadow this project casts over the present and the future. Many techniques later reported in detention centers like Guantanamo Bay and Abu Ghraib, from sensory deprivation and sleep deprivation to the use of continuous noise to break psychological resistance, bear disturbing resemblances to the experiments of the 1950s. Today, with the rise of brain-computer interfaces from companies like Neuralink and advanced behavioral shaping algorithms in social media, the question is no longer whether governments can influence the human mind. It is how much of that power is already being used, silently and out of sight. The story of MK Ultra is not merely a tale of psychedelic drugs or Cold War spies. It is a story about the boundaries of ethics. This project serves as a chilling reminder that when national security becomes a pretext to sacrifice human dignity, darkness swiftly replaces the light. Frank Olson fell from the 13th floor so that today we might understand that freedom does not survive in the shadows of secret powers. It lives in transparency and the constant oversight of those in control.
Love this content? Hit the subscribe button and join our community. Turn on notifications to be the first to watch our new videos.